Hello there, and welcome to Banter Podcast, episode 20.
Ooh, 20 for 2020.
Our precious podcast is no longer a teenager.
She's been of age for quite some time.
Apologies if the audio is a bit reverb and echoey. We're recording in a summer house.
I'd say it's more of an elaborate shed
with
than
windows.
Summer house, yeah. But, we'll say it's a summer house.
Yeah, so apologise if the audio is a bit fucked this week.
It's all good. I mean, you'll probably hear traffic, etc. Just pretend
just fucking deal with it.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We care. We care enough to apologise, but not enough to do anything about it. Alright?
I finished Vikings.
Hey!
At long last. No, I didn't bring any bubbly for that.
That's a shame.
I don't know why I'm looking around expecting there to be a bottle of champagne in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, sometimes it just turns up.
Instead, I am drinking Goose Island IPA.
Oh, my drink is no longer sad and pathetic. I'm drinking some decent quality mead over here from the Lancashire Mead Company. Very nice. I do have a hula hoop on backup.
Because the amount of mead remaining is sad and pathetic.
Yes, but the hula hoop will see me through.
Fair enough. Vikings, it became a bit of a struggle towards the end. Like, season 5 was a bit of a task to watch because I just found my interest dipping as the seconds passed.
No, you just end up less involved in the characters. You don't really care as much because the ones that you know and love start dying off rapidly. And you end up just not really caring as much.
Season 5B was a chore.
Yes, I found that.
6A was an improvement, and we're still waiting on 6B. I haven't done any research in this, but last time I checked, it's going to be out later this year. I think we touched on it briefly in the last podcast. There was a quick trailer that was released on the Comic-Con, the online Comic-Con, I should say, sorry, whatever it was called. And that was about it. It didn't really give much. It was just Ivar and his Russ army with Hitzberg just awaiting something, and Bjorn just walks over, still fucked from the end of last season on a horse, and that's it. Doesn't tell you anything really, apart from the fact that Bjorn's alive, which everyone saw coming anyway.
Well, it's a good fucking job, because he's the only one that you give a shit about anymore, because most of the characters are dead.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anyone still alive from season 1, apart from Bjorn.
Apart from Bjorn. Floki.
Bjorn, sorry. Oh yeah,
Floki's alive.
He wasn't even in season 6 so
No,
far. We don't
he
know
wasn't.
about Floki yet.
We shall see.
Anyway, that was your completely spoiler-free Vikings update.
Well, I didn't say who's dead.
We kind of did say who's dead, because we said that Bjorn and Floki are the only ones still alive.
Yeah, basically everyone else is dead.
Season 6A finished at the beginning of this year. It's not my fault if you haven't seen it yet.
To be fair, Vikings has been around long enough for you lovely listeners to have watched it by now. But we're sorry if we spoiled that for you. Well, fuck it. Forbes 2020, sticking with the theme of 20s, have released their list of Hollywood's top paid actors recently. Put in big letters down at the bottom of my notes. Get Joe to guess who was number 1.
Oh my god.
Whilst you're thinking, dear listeners, they grossed $87.5 million worth of wealth, which is 66.8 million of your English pounds.
I'm guessing Robert Downey Jr. is up there.
He didn't make top 10.
Oh, really?
I'll save your pain. Number 1, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. 87.9.
I don't know whether to be more offended or impressed over that.
I mean, considering...
I am impressed.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I get good vibes from him. I think he's a good
He
person.
works hard.
He does
work hard. And he's such a dude as well, so I can't really get mad at that, to be honest.
Number 2. Do you want to try and guess any of these? Because I've got a list of 10 here.
Well, since the quality of acting has just peaked.
Yeah, how can you get better? According to Forbes, you can't.
No. I wanted to say Keanu Reeves, just because he works really hard as well.
Ooh, he's not on this list.
The 5th instalment of the John Wick franchise is to be shot immediately after the 4th. I genuinely had no idea that there was a 5th John Wick film in the making, but that information kind of annoys me because the 4th hasn't been released yet. It's scheduled for May 2022. The fact that there's a 5th movie is going to make me way less immersed in the 4th film because it's going to dilute the atmosphere because
You know there's more to come.
You know John Wick's not going to die. There's going to be a load of close calls, but John Wick Chapter 5 is going to include John Wick.
I haven't seen any of the John Wick films other than the first one.
Watch them, they're really good.
I've been told they're very good, and I do love Keanu Reeves. I just don't go to them. I don't know why.
You should. For the combat alone and the sound engineering, it's really, really good.
I've heard I haven't heard a bad thing about them, but my worry is that it's going to go in the same way as Pirates of the Caribbean, fucking Avengers, you know, when they just spaff out too many because they know that it's a cash cow. Yeah. I'm worried that is going to happen with John Wick.
Yes, there is that concern, but so far they're getting better. They're improving from a critical point of view as well as box office. So until that starts to decline, then I'll kind of jump on board with the whole Pirates of the Caribbean comparison. But yes, they're going to start shooting John Wick the moment that Keanu Reeves is done finishing The Matrix 4. He is a very active person.
Yeah, he is busy. Maybe he's going to be on Forbes 2021 list.
Yeah, for that reason alone, he's a very in high demand actor. They've done the Bill and Ted thing. The John Wick franchise is thriving.
Obviously The Matrix as well.
And he's also contributed some of his work towards that Cyberpunk 2077 game as well. Hosted a little quick panel at E3 for that game. So he's a very active person, which is why I'm quite surprised he didn't make that list.
He's generous with his time and his wealth, though. Yeah. Keanu is an all-round good person, but he did not make the top 10 this year. Number 2, good old Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, he made it. He was second. Mark Wahlberg was third. Ben Affleck, Vin Diesel. Akshay Kumar is number 6. He's Bollywood actor and producer. Lin-Manuel Miranda, hopefully I've said that correctly. He voiced Crackerjack Horseman on BoJack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Will Smith was number 8. I thought he was going to be higher.
I thought he'd be above Ryan Reynolds for sure.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I just don't know why Ryan Reynolds is second. That is completely bewildering to me.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, but you know. Number 9, Adam Sandler, and 10 was Jackie Chan. There you go. In total, they have earned $545.5 million between them, which is an insane amount of wealth.
Quite surprised that Jackie Chan still is in the top 10, to be honest, because he's been, as far as I'm aware, relatively inactive.
I don't know how they work out the algorithm or anything, but
you can only go by the list.
I went by the list,
yeah. You went by the list.
I didn't do any of my own research outside of the list.
How about now? When did you say the female list is going to be released? In September? Alright, okay.
Predictions?
Helen Mirren. Halle Berry.
Yeah. Margot Robbie, I think, will be on that list.
Yes, yeah, good idea. A good pick.
And I should think that Meryl Streep will still be up there, because she's made shitloads. Our Dame Judi Dench.
Gal Gadot. There's a new Wonder Woman film coming out soon. She's very successful overall. How many do we have?
We've got 3 each there.
Scarlett Johansson's on the tip of my tongue, but that is not a confident pick.
I mean, we can stick her on. Michelle Rodriguez, I think, is going to be on that list too, potentially.
Once upon a time, I would throw Keira Knightley's name at you, but I don't think she'll make that list.
I don't think she's active enough now.
No. She might be the Jackie Chan of this list.
Potentially, yeah.
Put it down. Fuck it.
We'll stick it down. Fuck it.
What is that? 8 or 9? Okay.
One more. We can think of one more.
Oh, this is pressuring us to do a podcast in September.
We should definitely consider Anne Hathaway and Sandra Bullock for this list. Sandra Bullock, I think, will be on this list, actually.
Okay.
A comprehensive list of very talented female actors there. We will find out in September how wrong we are about them.
Yes, we will forget all about it before September. Because there is literally no continuity whatsoever with these fucking podcasts.
And nor should there ever be. I have some Tiger King news, and I also have news about a different bell end. Which one would you like to hear about first?
Isn't it really weird that you mentioned Tiger King when we both said recently that Joe Exotic has just fell off the radar, or the whole thing has just fell off the radar?
Yeah, everyone's kind of lost interest in it, which isn't surprising because it's just a fad. However, Tiger King's Carole Baskin is being sued by her dead/missing husband's family.
Excellent, because she did it.
It's an attempt to force Baskin to give evidence on the record about what the fuck happened, and the family are offering a $100,000 reward for information about what happened to the guy, and apparently they are investigating a new lead about the septic tank, because the tea is that she said that the septic tank arrived after he went missing, and that's not true.
Oh, Carol.
Oh, Carol! What a tangle web you weave. So she's going through it at the moment.
She's never been good with a calendar. That's going to entice a lot of fans just sending her a load of shit. Or the family of her missing/dead husband a load of false information in the name of trying to hopefully get some money.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there, because it's one of those great mysteries, isn't it? And I think a lot of people would like to know what happened to him.
Yes, I give a shit more about this than I do the identity of Jack the Ripper, to be honest with you. That is interesting. I haven't heard anything about the movie, though. Last time I heard Nicolas Cage was going to be playing Joe Exotic, but as far as I'm aware, nothing has kind of developed from there. I'm guessing the pandemic's kind of put a pause on the production of most things like we talked about last time. Oh, a bit of continuity there, referencing past episodes.
There you go.
Back when we were a teenager.
Well, one thing that had been paused because of COVID and has now resumed production at a socially distanced set.
That was a delicious segue.
Wasn't it? Is The Witcher Season 2.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it was halted back in January and it is going to be up and running again August 17th, so they will have started by now. The Lauren Kissrich, the showrunner and producer, said that as a result it gave them more time to tighten the story and make it better, and apparently several changes have been made to scripts, so it might be that the extra time has helped give us a better quality programme in the end, which is excellent. Some of the things that they're doing to kind of help it be socially distanced and therefore safer. They've been bragging a little bit about this fancy communication system where it like reduces interaction by isolating departments like sound, etc. whatever. Apparently it's meant to be released in mid to late 2021, so they haven't given us a very exact
That's quite
anything,
soon,
yeah.
all things considered.
All things considered it is.
Yeah. How are you progressing with The Witcher 3?
Oh, the PS game?
Yeah.
I am currently stuck at an embarrassingly early boss level and I don't know how to win. I've even YouTubed like a walkthrough and it literally just looks like you have to bash the shit out of it and dodge out the way and then bash the shit out of it and it takes fucking ages. This YouTube video was like 6 minutes long of battle, so I was like, holy shit, I'm not going to survive that long, because I'm more of a go hard or die, which is not what you're supposed to do with gaming. It's meant to be strategy, blah, blah, but I just go in all guns blazing and try and slash the shit out of it and hope for the best, which isn't the best tactic, I've come to realise, but what can you do? I'm at that part where the mutated baby thing is like gotten all pissed off, and there's two different ways that you can do it. You can either take the mutated baby thing and try and keep it calm and fight off a load of witches and stuff until you get to a destination. I assume I haven't got that far. Or you just fight it and it gets all angry and big and hard to kill.
I'd fight it for the first few attempts and then I'd be like, yeah, okay, I don't have that in me right now. But there's no shame in watching a walkthrough, especially if you're invested in the narrative and you want to progress that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh god, yeah. I'm a big fan of like walkthroughs and stuff. I always have a good few attempts myself before going for a walkthrough, just because, you want to try and do it under your own fruition. But even with walkthrough and equipping myself with all the shit that I possibly can, I'm just not skilled enough yet.
It's just going to be one of those things that take time. I remember recently, actually, I was playing Lord of the Rings online, and there was a quest where you had to go into Goblin Town and do something in Gollum's cave.
Right.
But there's many, many levels to Goblin Town, and I was like, I can't do this. Thankfully, I was at such a high level that the mobs didn't attack me, so that was much easier. But I had a YouTube walkthrough on my second monitor, followed it literally step by step. I still got lost. And I was shit.
It's a complicated map, isn't it, that section?
Yeah, and I can't even use the excuse of being intoxicated because I wasn't. It was really annoying. But her video was done at, I think, 2.5 normal speed, yeah. But that's a really loose excuse, but it's the only one I've got because I still got lost.
I mentioned to you earlier that I had a different bell end to talk about other than my Tiger King news.
Yes, you did.
Well, strap on and strap in, because master illusionist David Blaine is set to perform his first major stunt in a decade. What he's going to do is float from New Jersey to New York City with help from helium balloons. He's called it Ascension, and it will be released and performed live on Netflix Originals, which is exciting. So he's going to do it live. So we'll see the action as it's unfolding.
This explains why he was on the Joe Rogan podcast very recently.
Yeah, there you go. August 31st is when he will be broadcasting. And it's been a decade since the last. Certainly a different take on balloon magic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can imagine there's more complexities to it, like him just floating along with balloons on him is, it doesn't sound particularly difficult or, magic-y. I'd say it's more of a stunt than magic.
Yeah.
It's not really an illusion.
No, not at all.
But I can imagine it's actually quite difficult, and there's probably more to it than what it seems. I can't help but just think that he's...
Do you think he legitimately did that hunger challenge?
To be honest, I don't care.
I don't care either, but there was a load of interesting theories, like they were packing his water bottles full of like nutrients and like carbs and shit like that to keep him going. But I'm not really heavily invested in his work. I've seen a few of them. I'm not impressed by it either.
Any of his things are achievable. It's just no one can be asked to do them because, first of all, they're a bit ridiculous, and second of all, no one gives a shit enough if you have achieved that. You know what I mean? I'd be more impressed by somebody, I don't know, breaking the 100-meter running record. You know what I mean?
Free solo that Alex Honnold did. That impresses me.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's extremely impressive. But hanging out in a box in London and not eating, that's
a lot of people's reality.
Yeah.
In London. And my other places, I guess, too. But anyway, yeah, so the only intrigue I have about this is the fact that it's going to be shown live, and if something horrendous does happen, it will happen in front of us.
Yeah. I'm probably going to watch that.
I'll probably watch it just to see if something does actually happen. And not that I'm wishing it to, but it would make good TV.
But if it does, it's not your fault and it's entertaining.
True. He will probably have some kind of parachute on him anyway, so how dangerous is it?
It depends how he wants to go out, because if he does go out during one of his stunts, he's going to be like the modern Houdini. People will call him that. I don't think he's worthy of the title personally.
No, I don't think he is.
But it will basically immortalise him in that way. If he dies like a really old man in a retirement home, no one's going to care, but if he dies during this...
During a stunt, he'll be remembered forever.
Yeah, exactly. But isn't it funny how like a lot of people use the Joe Rogan podcast as a platform to promote their upcoming shit?
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
You can usually gauge who's going to be doing something in the near future by their appearances on Joe Rogan.
How do you feel about his $100 million Spotify deal?
It's a shame that it's going to be audio only.
Yeah, like no YouTube, no nothing.
Yeah, I think...
Exclusively on Spotify.
Otherwise, I don't think I'd care. Like, move over to Spotify deal thing, whatever. But the visual, I prefer. I think you can get a lot more from a video recording. I don't know. I think it's a poor move to go over to Spotify, but it's not like he's doing it for the money. So he's probably just doing it for the enjoyment. But I don't know. Why change it? I guess he can make more money that way, so maybe he's doing it for the money.
It's the biggest deal in the history of Spotify.
Ooh.
Comfortably, apparently. So,
that's very impressive.
Yeah, isn't it weird, like one dude with a microphone is worth more to Spotify than any of the musicians that are on there?
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Scream 5 is scheduled to start shooting at the end of this year.
No way. Fucking Scream. As if they're still trying to spaff out movies related to this. I love the Scream films. I really do.
I loved the Scream TV series.
Yeah, I mean...
We spoke about it on this podcast several times.
We did. And I really enjoyed that too. I think so. I've started to notice that the actors that were in that have started cropping up in other things as well, which is fun to see. Go on. Is there anyone that we know and love in it?
Well, at the end of Scream 4, everyone survived. Like Sydney, Dewey and Gail all survived. David Arquette and Courtney Cox are reprising their roles, but
yes!
Neve Campbell is still to confirm. She did say that if the script was solid, she'd always do it. And that's like years old news, but I think it's all but confirmed. I think it's happening.
They're just teasing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to be the role that she's forever known for.
That or she thinks the script is shit.
I don't think the script is going to be shit.
Who's writing?
I don't know who's writing it, but I do have faith in the directors. Tyler Gillett and Matt Bettinelli-Olphin are directing this, and they're the dudes who helmed Ready or Not, which is an absolutely brilliant horror movie.
I'll have to take your word for that one.
It's so funny, and because it's got kind of like that cheesiness that Scream's always kind of like known for.
Yes, and they fall over the shit, and he always gets clobbered with a lamp. And
I genuinely can't think of two directors more qualified to take this up. It's gonna suck that Wes Craven isn't directing because he's obviously dead.
Yeah.
But he was always intending to do a fifth film. But I don't think there was any material that was written.
Well, I was going to ask if there was. I wonder if there's like even notes that they've gone off.
There might be.
There might be. We'll see.
Yeah, it could be the Silmarillion of the horror franchise.
Cobbled together.
Oh my god, as if I compared the Scream movies to the work of Tolkien. That's bad. I'll be sure to horsewhip myself for that later.
Harking back to things that we used to know and love from our childhood, as well as the Scream franchise. Fresh Prince of Bel Air. There is a reboot in the works, which has been... Have you seen this? Do you know about this?
I've seen a headline.
Okay, cool. So, Will Smith is still going to be producing, which bodes well.
Yeah, he's got some places to make on that Forbes list.
Yeah, there you go. Next time, fucking number 8 bullshit. Mr. Smith, get your shit together. It's based on a viral fan trailer that imagine the series through a very different lens. It's presented as a serious drama rather than a sitcom. Everyone who has come across this fan trailer has had good things to say about it. In March 2019, it had 3.5 million views in a month, and I think it's got about 5.6 now.
That's almost as much as this podcast gets.
Almost, yes. The original Fresh Prince of Bel Air ran for 6 seasons, between 1990 and 1996 on NBC, but the new reboot will be across streaming platforms, so Netflix, HBO Max, Peacock, etc. Everyone's going to have a taste, which is exciting. I'll definitely be tuning into this.
I never really watched it, you know.
Didn't you?
No, I was too busy indulging on like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Kenan and Kel, Are You Afraid of the Dark? I liked the Power Rangers. I've seen a few episodes of The Fresh Prince.
God, I used to watch it religiously.
The one that sticks out in my mind the most is when their butler thinks he won the lottery.
Yes, and he basically tells them all to go fuck themselves, does a happy dance in the middle of the lounge, and then realises that it's a huge error.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. But I really enjoyed Carlton as well. He was my favourite character on it.
Yes, yeah.
But no, I never watched all of them, but they were good to bob in and out of, and they were really funny.
Yeah, they were great. I'm glad that this is happening, to be honest. I'm going to tune into this.
Do you remember the other day when we had that conversation and we kind of like cut ourselves off midway through because we thought it would be a good thing to talk about on the podcast?
Yes, I remember.
Well, I think we might as well, since the record button's
seeing as we're here.
All flashing and shit.
We were basically talking about how within BoJack there are TV series that the characters themselves are in. For example, BoJack is in Horsing Around, Mr. Peanut Butter has Birthday Dad. There's more.
BoJack also was Filbert, that kind of like rundown detective.
Didn't he play some kind of racehorse as well?
That was Secretariat. That was a movie based on his childhood hero or something like that.
Anyway, we were basically saying how it would be interesting if they made those as almost spin-offs, but standalone spin-offs. It got me thinking actually about other programs that had done it, like if Friends decided to release Days of Their Lives. But I think that's already a thing.
I'm unsure if that is a thing or not, but I would happily watch that.
Out of all of them, I want to see Birthday Dad.
Birthday Dad would be hilarious, to be fair. I mean, I think that all of them have premises that have the potential to be explored completely separately to the BoJack narrative.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to reference, like...
No, it would be interesting to see if, say, for example, Mr. Peanut Butter kind of broke character in like an Inception kind of way, and we kind of saw him as Mr. Peanut Butter rather than as Birthday Dad in kind of like dips in concentration that we know his character does.
I do know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a weird way of saying it, but the words are there, you can put it together yourself.
I was thinking about this when I was kind of like jotting these notes down. I was like, would I find it hard to separate BoJack from Filbert, for example?
Yes.
I think it'd be quite easy. I wouldn't see it as BoJack playing a character, I would see it as the character he's playing.
Yeah.
I think, however, that would be much easier to do with Mr. Peanut Butter, because its Birthday Dad is practically Mr. Peanut Butter, they're the same person.
Yeah, essentially.
He's playing himself.
They would leave themselves quite a tall order to try and get Birthday Dad to be as great as it's claimed to be in the series.
Which is why I think that would probably be like a Christmas special.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Because Filbert, I think, would be the easiest one to work with in terms of longevity.
Yes, and separating the two.
Horsing Around has already got buckets of material because it's quite heavily featured in BoJack anyway. And they did that Christmas special, which was really good.
Yes.
So maybe the creators have kind of flirted with the idea of expanding those programs within the original series. But I wouldn't blame them if they didn't want to, because BoJack went on for 6 years.
Yeah.
Its final season finished this year, won numerous awards, so perhaps they decided against the idea of expanding that universe. A lot of people are calling it the greatest animated series of all time, so why kind of like tarnish that accolade?
Yeah, and that is an incredible accolade to have too. Although, controversially, I think that they should have ended it an episode sooner. I think they should have ended on The View from Halfway Down.
That is up for many awards.
Yes, and so it should be. It's an incredible, incredible episode.
It's definitely the most memorable episode of that season, and probably the darkest episode of it ever, apart from maybe Free Chiro, which is my favourite episode of it, the eulogy episode.
The eulogy, yes.
Which was also up for a lot of awards.
Yeah, they put that forward for an Emmy, which was a bold move. One animated series that should get more accolades than it fucking has, though, which I'm very pleased to say, dear viewers, is coming back for a second fucking season, as it should, despite Netflix saying it wasn't good enough for it, is Tuca and Bertie. And applause breaks out across the nation. I can almost hear it now. Tuca and Bertie was one of my favourite things to come out of Netflix last year, and it did not get the credit that it deserved. Purely based on the creativity that they brought to that season, it should have achieved more. And Netflix didn't even pick it up for a second season, which is interesting because it's quite out there, it's quite different, it's a different way of animating it, which is what BoJack was, and they took a punt with BoJack and they didn't with Tuca and Bertie, which baffles me. But happily, Adult Swim have realised and capitalised on Netflix's mistake, and they have picked it up for a second season. Thank fuck. Because it's brilliant, and if you haven't seen it, please do watch it. It is an absolute treat.
I've been meaning to watch it.
Do it. It is an absolute fucking outrage that Netflix didn't take the chance on that.
Speaking of another outrage, Dickhead of the Week!
Ooh, did you feel the reverb in the shed?
Lawrence Fishburne says he wasn't invited to appear in The Matrix 4.
How fucking rude! What twatbag made that faux pas?
Lana Wachowski, who has been involved in the writing process for all of the Matrix films to date, currently, or at least allegedly, hasn't included the character Morpheus.
No.
Or at least isn't intending to, because obviously who else is going to play Morpheus?
Yeah, you can't write that character in and not have Lawrence Fishburne play it.
Obviously Keanu Reeves is returning, as well as Carrie-Anne Moss. Fishburne hasn't thrown any shade at Lana Wachowski for this.
He fucking should.
In ways he fucking should, but a lot of people think that this is a red herring.
Okay, kind of like let's tease the fans and get them riled up.
Yeah, just to have a massive pop-off at the cinema, you know.
Well, it would generate some kind of new discussion around it, I suppose.
Because that kind of thing would be really hard to pull off in this day and age when things are getting leaked left, right and centre. If they are intending to include Lawrence Fishburne in this movie, and he's had a hand in trying to keep it secret as well, that would be brilliant. If it doesn't get leaked beforehand, if he is actually going to be involved, it would be nothing short of a fucking miracle. But the reason why I'm nominating her in the Dickhead of the Week category is simply because, as of now, as far as we all know, she hasn't invited Lawrence Fishburne to appear in a Matrix film. I'm going to temporarily put her in the Dickhead of the Week.
Based on whether or not this is intentional or whether he's in on the joke.
Yes, I think he will be in the movie, but as far as now is concerned, I want to put Lana Wachowski in one of the Dickhead of the Week columns.
Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, so going from least to worst. Flaccid Dick. So
Hang on, wait. Do we actually have a chart with us today?
We always have the chart with us. We didn't last time.
We do not always have the chart with us.
I've got it all here. I'm organised as fuck.
So fucking organised.
Okay, so flaccid dick, semi-flaccid dick, erect dick, super erect dick, super throbbing erect dick, cock ring, shooting blood, and Konami.
I mean, I don't think this is as bad as Billie Eilish.
No, not at all.
And to be honest, I don't think this is as bad as Activision either. I'm going to say semi-flaccid dick, only based on, which is the second to lowest, only purely based on the fact that it might be a ruse. However, I would like to add the stipulation that if it's not a ruse, they need to go further up.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to have a debut of the semi-flaccid dick. It's the only empty column.
Ah.
So, okay, Lana Wachowski, welcome to the semi-flaccid dick.
Repent, and thou shalt be saved.
There is a genuine possibility of redemption here. Make the right choice, Lana. We all know you can.
That was the sound, I don't know if the mic picks that up, but that was the sound of me ticking off everything that I wanted to speak about.
You know the Dark Tourist that I talked about before? One of the places where they went, we've been to, interestingly.
Where was the place?
It was in Cyprus, it's Famagusta. You know that
Oh,
area?
yes, I remember
like when the
Famagusta.
Turks invaded and...
The referendum happened.
Yes, and then that area got evacuated and then the people were no longer allowed to return and now it's just been cornered off and boarded up and stuff. He went there and so did we.
That's really cool. Is the washing still on the lines?
Yeah, legit.
Really?
It's a ghost town. It's been abandoned, but I thought it was really interesting that we'd been to one of the places where he had.
But it is really interesting when you kind of see places that you've been on television, like when Top Gear visited Shirley.
Yeah! It's like, oh, I know that street.
And the many films that have taken place in Puzzlewood as well. When we went there recently, it was nice recognising some of those scenes.
It's a beautiful place to go if, dear viewers, you would like to take a delightful trip to the Forest of Dean.
And when we went to the new the Star Wars: A New Hope set in Tunisia.
Yes,
that was really
great.
cool.
That felt really special.
I want to do Hobbiton. Hobbiton is the main one.
Absolutely. One day. It's pipe dreams, isn't it? We've all got like Dubrovnik, where they filmed some of Game of Thrones.
But yeah, in Croatia, that would be really interesting. And Ireland for Game of Thrones and
again.
Vikings.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, enough about us saying shit that we'll never get around to doing.
Yeah, this whole Lana situation stinks of shit. It stinks more of shit than this shed does of ganj.
Should we end it there?
Sure.
Oh wait, Scott's got COVID, forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, by the way, Scott's got COVID. Thoughts and prayers.